I share screen.
Sure.
Can see or not?
Yes.
Okay, can listen, can see. All right. So today
Yeah.
we'll talking about chapter 4. The title is The Mission of Marriage. Okay. So everybody know about the vision and mission. Vision is more about see, and mission is more like planning and doing. Okay. So actually, what is the purpose of marriage? Okay, from the Bible answer, basically the purpose of marriage is a friendship. Okay, there's a principle. This is the principle for marriage. Okay, so uh, in this chapter at the beginning, uh, the author talk about the creation of God. He created the world and human. He created Adam. Okay, and from the beginning, God just created Adam and put him in the garden, and yet he is alone. And God said, loneliness is not good. Right? So, even in paradise, uh, there are loneliness, and loneliness was terrible things. Okay, so therefore, in our world today, in our actual world, also, there are loneliness also. Okay, so things like money, comforts, and pleasures in this world are unable to fulfill us like love can. So, love is actually a very powerful. Love can fulfill our loneliness. So, love basically is talking about the relationships. Okay, so when we were born, we born in a family, right? Uh, of course, the male and female parents, parents get together, then only have us. So it's actually is a very unique things for life, right? The creation of God is actually very unique because of the relationship of the parents. Then only have uh, the baby, the form of life, the start, the life start to begin from the what ovum. Uh, I forget the name for the ovum, and then become fetus, and then become the baby, and then born out lah. Please correct me if any mistake. I'm also learning. Okay, so we come to a family. So family and relationships are greater blessings and provide a greater satisfaction than anything money can buy. The things in this world, like money, the materialistic things, uh, they can fulfill us for a temporary moment, right? Like a new cars, okay. When we get the new cars, well, we are very happy, and we can show to our friends or whoever, and really satisfies us. But after 1 years, 2 years, 3 years, oh, my friend came out with much more better technology cars. Then my cars become old cars. So the materialistic things is actually temporary. They can't last long. That's why relationships is far more greater than the materialistic things. Okay, so just now we talked about Adam. God created Adam, so that's why God don't want Adam to be lonely. That's why God gave a man a companion to be his spouse. Okay, so God pulled up the bone from Adam and created Eva, the female. So this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. So it's actually female, and Eva is actually from Adam, and of course the female relationships, the spouse, become the spouse of Adam. So the relationship of spouse is very great because it's actually also from the bone of Adam and the flesh of Adam. So this become today's marriage. So marriage, the meaning of marriage is actually two become one, and this God creation. So this is the principle. So basically, this chapter is talking about the friendships. Okay. So the character of friendship. We have friends, right?
Okay, let me just step in a bit before we go into friendship.
Okay.
I just want to add a little bit. Recognize the difference between purpose of being a human and purpose of marriage. The purpose of being a human is not marriage. Okay, can you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, can.
The purpose, what is the purpose of human being? Why I want to bring this question up is very simple. Sometimes you see that some people put marriage at the center of life. Okay? No, marriage or friendship in marriage is very high priority in life, but it's not the purpose of life. So what is the purpose of life? How do we know what is the purpose of life? Any thoughts? Any suggestion? Anybody? Hello.
Repeat again, can I the question?
Okay. You see, this chapter talks about mission of marriage or the purpose of marriage, right? But I want to make it very clear that there's a difference between purpose of life and purpose of marriage. Don't make marriage the purpose of life.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Understand?
Yeah. Some people do. That's why I want to avoid that. Marriage is in the context of life. Marriage is invented or created or invented by God, instituted by God after creation of life. You understand what I'm saying? Adam was already doing something before marriage was instituted. So in other words, Adam already have a purpose of life. But then there is something lacking in Adam's life. Then God instituted marriage in order to make Adam's life fuller, more complete. Because otherwise, Adam's life is not complete. Correct? Why? Because the way Adam was created, in the image of God, and if God is love, then human being Adam was also created with the image of God, with love with love as part of his being. So that's why Adam and human being, we all also need love, because we are in the image of God and God is love. And love is always in the context of relationship. You cannot have love without relationship. Right? Yeah. And that's why marriage is it can say it's the highest form of relationship, of love relationship. But then I want to ask, what is the purpose of life then? You need marriage in life, or I won't say you need. God instituted marriage into life in order that the purpose of life can be complete. So what is the purpose of life? Can we say purpose of life? Make a difference of other life. Okay? Okay? Kershin said, fulfill what we are called to do. Correct? Correct? Now, both answers also correct. Both answers also correct. It's just expressed differently. You see, when Adam was created, God put Adam into the garden, and then he gave some instruction to Adam. Okay? And that's why fulfill what we are called to do. Edna say, yes, correct. Because Adam was called to rule the earth. So that's what Adam is supposed to do. Right? To rule the earth in what way? Make a difference to other life. In fact, to all of life, not just human life. That's why it's rule the earth, including all forms of life. Right? So this is very important. Yes? Also live out maximum potential to grow next generation. Correct? Why? Why we say that? Very simple. You see the whole Bible. And then you see the heart of God in giving instruction for the Jews especially, to say that you teach the next generation. And you see Jesus doing that in the life of the disciples. Okay? So all of you are giving the right answer. So this is something we need to very important for us to focus on, to remember that the purpose of life is not marriage, but marriage will help significantly to enhance the purpose of life. Why? Very simple. Because we are created in a way that reflects God, with love inside, with a need for love inside, and with the capacity to love. And love requires relationship. Okay? And what is the highest form of relationship that God instituted? Marriage. Or I wouldn't say the deepest form, I would say. Right? Where the relationship reach to the point of oneness. Okay? Any question? So I just want to clarify so that we don't end up making marriage the purpose of life. Okay. Chen Wei say, question, is it mean that it's not necessary to marriage? Yes. It's possible not to marry. But God will allow you give you the gift to be able to fulfill your purpose without the relationship of marriage. You see Paul in the rest of the Bible, you see Paul saying that. Yeah, correct. Okay. So it's possible not to marry. If people can, but then we also recognize that marriage is not wrong. Not married also not wrong, because this is God giving the gift. You can say it's a gift, or you can say it's the abilities. So don't. That's why you have to be very careful not to compare the two. Don't say that single is better than married. Don't say that married is better than single. No. There's no better when it is to fulfill the purpose. That's why now you understand why I'm saying. You're beginning to say, you see, because if you put marriage as the purpose of life, then those people who don't marry say, they don't fulfill purpose of life. No. If their purpose of life, if a person find that their purpose of life, right, is better for them to be single because it helps them to fulfill their purpose of life, then by far, because the purpose of life is that. Okay? Yeah. Can understand what I'm saying? Any other comment or question? Oh, I don't want to say three kinds. To me, I just separate two only. People who don't marry and people who marry. That's all. Okay? Both also got advantage and disadvantage. I won't say advantage, disadvantage. Both of them also got difficulties and benefits. Yeah, potential. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No. Okay. No question. No comment. Then William, pass back to you.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thanks for adding a lot of information. Okay, so next, so now we talking about friendship. Yeah. So we have friends, right? So why we become friends? Because we have common interests, like children. Why children become friends so easily? Because they're playing together. Because their common interest is playing. Share together their toys. Maybe fight together also. So these friends, right? So friends love at all times, especially during adversity, during their difficulties. True friends will come and help, and that's the relationship. The other way is the counterfeit. The friend, their kind of friend is like a fair weather friend who comes over when you are successful, but goes away if prosperity, status, influence wane. Right? Like they become your friend because of some purpose, not genuine or true heart friends, something lah. So they want to become your friends, like because you can fulfill their materialistic things. Like this is not the true friends lah. Okay, true friends stick closer than a brother. So from my experience I hang out with friends more than my family. That's maybe not good lah. Actually, family is much more important lah. Actually, but what I want to talk is want to express the relationship in friendships. For friends, we have common interests, we have common topic to talk about, like watching the same movie, having the same hobbies, play together, uh, exercise together. Even like here, we are in the same study group. Yeah, we are friends. So friendship is transparency and candor. Is candor, 坦诚. Candor, yeah. C-A-N-D-O. So true friends actually we talk everything, we don't hide. So remember now we have the level of relationship. Some is high by, and then another one is what? The level lah. Then okay, real friends actually encourage and affectionately affirm one another. Okay, when we are down, normally people will go to bar and drink, have some beers, and then we talk our heart lah. What you feel to our friends. Then friends will encourage you and give their opinions. These are friendship lah. And real friends also offer bracing critics because the friends love you. That's why he or she critiques you because the friends wants you to improve. Yeah, friends cut you in order to heal you. Yeah, sometimes it's true. Yeah. I have friends also doing the wrong things. So I can't let my friends continue to go to the wrong way. That's why I criticize him. I want to wake him up. I slap him, not by physical lah, by words or but anyway there are many ways lah. Not my ways is the correct way lah. I'm sharing that friendship is actually we play together and we fight together like the children. Sometimes we play together, we hug together, and sometimes we punch together, punch to each other. Okay, so as iron sharpen irons, so friends sharpens friends. We make each other much better, improve. Okay. There are two features of real friendships: the constancy, and transparency. So, how long can our friendship relationship last? Do we have friends still in contact since from our kindergartens? Anybody have or not?
Have.
你有啊？
Got lah. Kindergarten to primary, secondary, college. Kalian
Wow, I don't have it. I only from primary. Yeah. Kindergarten don't have.
Well, what is more the okay. So this consistency. Okay. Another one is the transparency. So transparency is like talking everything, no hide, no. And then the third quality to friendship is the sympathy. Sympathy 可怜啊
怜悯啊，
sympathy
怜悯啊，诶，那边很 lag 哦。
third quality never mind. Friendship are discovered more than they are created at will. Like when we first met each other, we don't know each other, and then after that, we talk. Huh? Huh? Oh, understanding between two humans. Okay. I continue. Friendships are discovered more than they are created. When we communicate, we talk to each other, we have common topics. From there, we start build up our friendship. The friendship arises when we have common interests in and longing for the same thing, like movies, books, art, music, pastimes, ideas, sceneries. So there are many friends, badminton friends, music friends, church friends, study group friends. So friendship cannot be merely about itself. It must be about something both friends are committed to and passionate about besides one another. Yeah, that's why we are friends because we are simply met each other and then we become friends. I don't think so, because the one is only hi-bye friends. So when we are truly friends, we have same interests and we are committed to each other together. You help me, I help you. When you are down, I pull you up. So there is friendships. Okay. Anybody want to add?
Okay, I checked through dictionary and then I find it very helpful. When I look at the online dictionary, I type in friendship definition. It came out one definition. I find it very useful that will help us to describe. It says there a state of trust and support. Two words very important: trust and support. And you will find that all the things here that William went through, all right, will promote trust and support, transparency and candor, right? They promote trust. Okay, and then a common interest. You need a common interest. You need to be doing things together. Then only you can support. If you're not doing things together, how to support? Correct? So when you're doing things together and then you get into a problem, then only can sympathize. You need to experience the sympathy, then only can support. So I find this is very important. Actually, when you talk about family and you talk about husband and wife and you talk about father and mother, brother or sister, right? These are all called relationship, which is a specific state. But within those relationship is the friendship. That's why you can have family members, but low friendship. That means the level of trust or support not very high. Or you can have the support very high, right? Trust not very high. Because you need understanding to trust. Right? And you could be brothers and sisters, but they may be low in trust. That's why sometimes you have brothers and sisters becoming enemies. So whatever the relationship does not define the friendship. Now, don't mistaken friendship from friends. Friends also got many levels. Friends is just a general term for people out there who do not have any specific related relationship. That means we have no more specific term to define this kind of relationship. We call them friends. Otherwise, we can call them, cousin, brother, sister, father, mother, whatever lah. That's a relationship, a husband, wife, right? So friendship is the state of trust and support. The level of trust you're experiencing with the person that leads to the amount of support you're willing to give to the person. So in a husband and wife, in a marriage, in other words, it has the potential for the deepest friendship. It has the potential. Because the amount that they can share is so much more. Right? There are a lot more things you can share with a husband and wife. Not that they will share, they can share. Right? So if a husband and wife doesn't reach that level of sharing, then sorry, Lord, their friendship is low. Lord. Okay? Any question? If not, I pass back to William, just to help differentiate between relationship and friendship. Okay, William, pass back to you, William.
Okay, thank you. Good. Relationship. Here we don't have blood relationship. We are all friends. Okay, so now here we come. Christian friendship. So friendship is only possible when there's a common vision and passions. Right? When we do things together. That's why the level of friendships increasing. We are Christian. When we are Christians, we have common goal. We have common good. We have all experienced the grace of God in the gospel of Jesus. Oh, we have the common goal, which is
Can you hear clearly?
towards
It's like
God and towards Jesus' teaching.
I also don't
What is
think
our
I
purpose?
can hear clearly.
Right? If cannot hear, please stop me.
cannot what William keep like stopping like that.
Yeah. I think his line got problem a bit.
断断续续这样啊。
Oh, sorry. Until where? Blank.
Until this part start 咯，
My Wi-Fi.
这个 Christian fellowship start。
Start from Christian friendship
friendship。
有我刚才用 data， 现在 change Wi-Fi. Is it better now?
你讲看，比较没有这样断哦。断的时候我们再跟你讲，
现在比较
那 OK
OK. So I start over again. Christian friendship. Friendship is only possible when there's common vision, vision and passion. For Christian like us, we are underlying a commonality that is more powerful, which is we have all experienced the grace of God in the gospel of Jesus. Yeah, so in this world, there are a lot of Christians which we do not know. But when we met each other and know that, hey, you are also Christian, and then from there we start at the beginning, we can go to very deep already. Like, hey, you also Christian, and then we can talk about God, Jesus, the teaching from Jesus, and we can share the Bible sharing. So sometimes in church activity, even though we are not really knowing each others, but sometimes when there is group sharing, we can share a lot our experience from God. So it's different from normal others non-Christian. I'm not saying we are biased or what, but when we know that the person is the Christian, then we can go much faster, much deeper. So, and then of course, we know that we have this common goal and common vision. Okay, so also God's calling and love are more foundational to who we are than any other things, right? Like just now, Sir got asked, what is our purpose, our human purpose, right? For those they do not know God, they won't come out the answer like listen what to God's calling. They won't come up with this answer because they don't know God. So because we know God, we are Christian, that's why we understand. Even some of you here, you are not Christian, but you all got joined this class, which Sir always introduce God to you all. So you are some kind like Christian already. So we have common understanding. So it's much more easier for us to communicate. So that's why we can go much more further. Also, we long for the same future journey and the same horizon. That's our mission, our goal to go to the new creation. Yeah. So it means any two Christians with nothing else but a common faith in Christ, we have a robust friendship, helping each other on the journey towards the new creation, as well as doing ministry together in the world. So it's very unique and also very special relationships. Christian, they do it through spiritual transparency. It's much more higher level already, the relationships. Then Christian friends admit wrongs, offer or ask forgiveness, and take steps to reconcile when one disappoints others. So these are all Jesus' teachings and we follow Jesus. Yeah, so we understand each other, and when we do something wrong or we hurt somebody, we admit that I'm sorry, ask for forgiveness, and then the other person also, when if he's also Christian, he will forgive you more easier. Because if we are all live in the Christ, live in Jesus love, so we can love each other more. Another way is spiritual constancy. We help each other to maintain our spiritual health, which sometimes we can get lost. We can ask why God do this to me. We are down, but when you have friends in same faith in Jesus, in God, they will share with you. They will share their experience with you, and of course, they also can give their 见证叫什么？见证
Testimony.
testimony testimony.
Yeah.
Testimony, and also their past experience in God. Yeah. So Christian friends bear each other's burdens, and they are to build up each other's faith through study and common worships. Yeah, we have Bibles. That's why Christian is very unique, because the whole world is studying the same book, which is Bible. The whole world, everybody, no matter you are Malay, Malay cannot lah, maybe. You are in Germany or in US or in Japan, we are studying the same book, just different language maybe, but same title, same verse, same chapter, everything. So it's very unique, and because God is unique, that's why the Bible is also unique. Okay, then here comes we bring this Christian friendship into the marriage. Okay, so marriage can add the power of romantic love to the natural and supernatural bonds of friendships, and this is what can make marriage the richest of all human relationships. When both Christians marriage together, it's not only about the physical relationship, physical combination. It's the spiritual oneness, to become one. Yeah. So friendship is a deep oneness that develops as two people speaking the truth in love to each other, journey together to the same horizon. And spiritual friendship is the greatest journey of all, because the horizon is so high and so far. Yeah. So when two people, if they have common faith, and both of them are also Christians, they not only sharing their physical life, and also they share also their spiritual life, spiritual health together. Yeah, and this relationship, these friendships can go much more higher and much more great to the horizon, to the heaven. Yeah. Okay. I stop here. No, any questions or not? Can hear me or not?
Can, no question. Clear, very clear.
No clear.
For me, no question for now.
Okay. No questions. Then we go on. Your so
Cannot hear
Christians.
now, William.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah,
Can or not?
can now, okay.
Okay, already.
Mm.
Okay. After talking about the Christian friendships, now we're going to the marriage already.
This one,
Your
I see this one hits me. I realize the friendship tends to be how to say, they are best friends before married, but when there are many cases after married, your spouse not become your best friend already. I don't know how to say, like a lot of things to hide and sad lah.
Oh,
Can keep that for discussion later. You can
Yeah.
ask the question why. Why is it? Why these things happen? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Agnes later lah. Okay. So your spouse as your best friends. Of course if we want marriage, we definitely choose best of the best right? But how we choose our spouse? Okay, in long time ago, in an age, women were often seen as the husband property. Aiyo, very terrible this one. Last time ancient cultures, the cultures last time, they just want to fulfill the social status and stability. That's why last time the daughter no power one. They cannot say I don't want marriage. All the marriage was arranged by their parents. They not even know their husband until the marriage day, until the marriage. Yeah. So the opposite now is the culture today. The culture today, we're talking focus more on romantic and emotional happiness. We can see now the social media is so advanced now. Like everybody is learning how to be more romantic. I'm not talking that romantic is not good. Actually, of course, it's good lah. But if we are too focusing on romantic, like we purposely create the romantic, but not hold it for the long time, not for long term, is sometimes I think that we are focusing on the wrong thing because romantic cannot always romantic one Sometimes we also can tired one but the culture today, everybody is focusing on that because of the drama also lah, and Facebook lah, whatever lah. So they are maybe going to the wrong way, and sometimes they already forget what is true love already, and that's why youngsters now can have 2 or 3 girlfriends one. Why? Because they know they are very 专业叫什么啊？they are very professional in romantic. So they can create romance very easily. So these are culture today lah. And then so for the goal of Christian marriage is actually not the above. It should be sacrificial love for his bride. It is to sanctify her, to present her to himself in radiant beauty and splendor, to bring her to be perfectly holy and blameless. This is what Christians' teachings on marriage. Of course, we can have romantic, we can have happiness in emotionally, social status. We also can have that, but not focusing on that. They are not the priority. The priority is sacrificial love. To contribute to each other. So God arranged the two people to become one because He wants the new creation for us. Marriage, I believe marriage also God's arrangement, the calling of God also, because when two become one, the oneness is much more greater. And of course, just now God said the marriage is not the human purpose, right? Of course, but marriage is some kind like a calling also, a calling from God also. God call you to love this person, to sacrifice to this person. God arranged this spouse for you, so you accept it, and then of course we have to ready to sacrifice for her or for him. So he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion in the day of Christ Jesus. So our ultimate goal is to go to the new creation, go to the horizon. And we should never think that we can achieve the perfection here and now, because the world here is never perfect. But also not losing hope. We can pray that by the power of the Holy Spirit, we will put on our new self, created to be like God. We can ask the power of Spirit to help us. So even the sufferings we experience can make us wiser, deeper, stronger, and better. Of course, our life cannot be always smooth, or always like nothing happen, right? Definitely there are ups and downs. So when we suffer, we learn. So we keep improving. Then we become stronger and better, right? And Jesus is both friends and lover. And this is to be the model for spouses in marriage. Jesus loved us. Yeah, and Jesus is actually a model for us to follow. Yeah. Okay, then husband and wife are to be both lovers and friends to one another as Jesus is to us also. So Jesus has a vision of our future glory, and everything he does in our lives moves us towards that goal, to the purpose of ultimate marriage. Yeah, that is the purpose, the goal. Okay, the principal spouse that capable becoming your best friend is depend on how you think. Okay, how we choose our spouse. Okay, it actually depends. If we want the erotic love, means that we focusing on the sexual chemistry or this, or another way around is we can think like we want social status, means like we want to have a common lifestyle financial status we want to be very very rich if we think these both are the physical and economical. If we are only focusing on this, this won't last long because this will change the beautiful girl can also owe one financial status also have economic crisis right? So don't focusing on that okay, so eventually we will come to an end and no more common vision and going nowhere if we are focusing on that. Eventually we will lose. Yeah, after we get very 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 rich, we already get everything we have, then now what is the next? Earn more money, no? Always earn money, earn, but cannot go deep anymore because already stagnant stop there already. So how we want to choose our spouse is the way is the principle is focusing on friendships, especially Christian friendships that will bring us to eternal, bring us to horizon, to go deeper and further. Okay, sir, pass to you.
Okay, there's something I want to talk about to help us understand the 5 level of existence. I just post this up now. I just post up on the chat now. The chat I just post up. You see, the first level is what I call material wealth. That means outside of ourselves. Second is the physical, the body. Third is the emotional, the heart, the feeling. Then the psychological, the mind. Okay, the mental or the psychological. And the last one is the spiritual or the soul. Now, think about it. Depends on what we are focused on. That will be the depth of the friendship that we can build, whether in marriage, but especially in marriage, in this case, we want to talk about. Now, the interesting thing is that you remember how Jesus gave the New Testament commandment. Anybody remember the New Testament commandment? The first commandment of the New Testament, not Old Testament, New Testament. Yes, love your God. How to love your God? How to love your God? Agnes. Yeah. Do you remember? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and body. Very interesting. Huh? Heart, soul, mind, and body. In fact, to me, when I see that, and then we are created in the image of God, and then we also learn from this book that the relationship, our marriage to our spouse is a reflection of our marriage to Jesus later on. So in other words, our relationship with Jesus, which leads to the marriage, is supposed to lead to a relationship, a friendship, that you will be able to love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your body. And if loving your husband or your wife is meant to be a reflection of that same love for Jesus, which is to love with all your heart, soul, mind, and body, then we are supposed to practice that now in our relationship with our spouse, which is to love our spouse, to try to love our spouse with all our heart, soul, mind, and body. Now, think about it. If you are motivated to marry because of economic or because of looks, how the other person make you feel, basically your marriage relationship is driven by material and physical. That means your emotion is a result of your romantic love, is a result of how the other person can make you feel, because the other person is rich, the other person is handsome, the other person is funny, the other person is the other person looks very nice, look very good, and makes you feel romance. Do you realize that? So just now what William shared, the part here, yeah, correct. If your marriage is driven by romantic love or erotic love or sexual chemistry or social status or financial status or physical or economical, that means your heart, your emotion, the feeling is driven by the material wealth and the physical body. And material wealth and physical body change very fast. Right? You get old, it changes. Compared to psychological and spiritual, it doesn't change so fast. That's why very important for us to remember that we must drive towards in other words, we must let our love, the emotion of love in our marriage, to be growing out of psychological, mental, and spiritual. Now, how are you going to do that? Very simple. The amount of time you spend discussing, right, to challenge each other, to grow together with our mind and our soul. And when our mind and our soul grow together, it's going to develop the feeling for each other, the deep kind of trust and support. Correct? That's what friendship. What friendship is the development of trust and support, the depth of trust and support. Now think about it. The depth of trust and support that grow out of material wealth and physical body. How much depth of trust and support can you gain from material wealth and physical body compared to the depth of trust and support from understanding, mutual understanding, and mutual spiritual development? Can see? I hope you should be able to see that that is the highest level of connection when your mind begin to align and agree, and your soul begin to align and agree. You will enhance the highest level of trust and support. And very often in during the Paktor period, the romantic period, the earlier part of romantic before you marry. Now, this is going to answer your question, Agnes, of just now you asking. Before marriage, wow, the friendship very good. After marriage, the friendship no good. Why? Because before marriage, the friendship very much is influenced by material wealth, physical body, and maybe a little bit of psychological the mind. But after, those things doesn't right? You rely on those things are dying. The material wealth, and you begin to realize the material wealth is shaky. The physical, the person is getting old, and then you begin to see the person, what the person looks like early morning without the makeup, without the dress, right? Without pretending. Then you see less, and then you begin to see that, hey, the other person is not as rich as you think he is. There's a lot of risk, okay? Whatever the person is doing, it's not as secure. Now, the so-called illusion created during the pathology due to the material wealth and physical body is disappearing. So the reason for the friendship is changing, you know. So if in the marriage, once after marriage, the couple do not grow into the higher level of friendship, which is psychologically or through the mind or through the soul, spiritually. In other words, if they do not move and spend activities and time to develop the psychological and mental oneness and the spiritual oneness, there's nothing to maintain and grow the friendship anymore, because the one that is caused by material wealth and physical body in the pathology period is disappearing, because you are now beginning to see that, hey, the person that rich also not very secure. The person that handsome or that nice during the romance is not that nice. Can see that? Why? Because the marriage relationship, they did not progress to replace the friendship with the higher level friendship, with the deeper level friendship. I hope can understand what I'm saying. Yeah, correct. And bear in mind, during the romantic period, right? That's why it's very important. I ask the question, how often does most relationship during pathology period spend enough activity time in the psychological, mental, which is the mind level, and the soul level? Let me ask. If they did not, then it's very tough, because the material wealth and the physical body level will disappear, because it's not stable one, that area. It must move, otherwise you are in big trouble. Okay? Yeah. Because you got to understand, during pathology, both sides is trying to be their best self, you know. Both sides are only trying to be the best self. Always bear in mind, when the girl go out with a guy, the girl is going to dress their best. So what the guy see is the pretty girl. What the girl see is the generous guy. The guy is not going to show the financial stress that he is experiencing during pathology. No. The girl is not going to show all the physical blemish that she has during patho. I don't know, this one is I wonder what will happen. Now, generally, if the pathology period, if the couple is able to, not before marriage, is able to move to the mental, the mind, and the soul level, then they don't. Then they begin to be more relaxed with the wealth and the physical level. Okay? Yeah. If they didn't, then sorry, that is what's driving the couple to the marriage. I hope this, you can see that. I hope this can help explain. Okay? Yeah. Which is why sexual attraction, social attraction, physical attraction is a dangerous basis for getting married. It's a dangerous. Okay. Yeah. Now, once you look at this also, okay. Now, criteria for choosing your spouse. What is the main criteria for you to decide whether the other person is a suitable spouse? Now, everybody have a few criteria, right? Some people, everybody has in their mind, okay, what do I want? And it is these things that sometimes, especially if you have a couple of options, and if a person have a couple of options to choose, then you will choose the one who in your priority, right? Who has the qualities according to your priority. So if the other person has the quality according to your priority, then you will choose. Okay. Let me answer Jianwei's question first. Question: how is it considered right way to discuss about psychological, spiritual when paktoing? Okay, that's why very important. I've seen a lot of people pakto time. They just spend time together and they will hold hands and they will go and have fun together, and then they will go and eat together. They go and watch movie together. But not many study together, pray together, discuss issues, difficult issues together, especially ideology together. This is what I mean by the mind. When we deal with the mind, we are talking about attitude and ideology and personal philosophy of life. What do I believe? What do I believe about Black Lives Matters? What do I believe about COVID-19 now? You see, these are all difficult, deep psychological matters or ideological issue. A lot of people who paktor never go there. They don't even go to the point to question spiritual, because they are driven emotionally by the physical, the feeling that they get. Because when you hold hand with the person, wow, it feels good. The person make you feel secure. The person make you feel wanted because of the attention that the other person is giving you. So you are merely dwelling in the romance, the romantic. But do you spend time in the mental and the spiritual? Most pathological people don't. And that's what I want to encourage. You should. Because why? Eventually, it's the mental and the spiritual that will be able to hold the couple together longer in the marriage. So initiate discussion. What is what I'm saying? But most pathology period, the couple avoid it. Why? Because it's very boring. They view this discussion as very boring. Yo, afterwards the other person think I so serious one. I'm a nerd. So boring. Why not exciting? So in the pathology period, I've been driven with physical excitement. And to me, that's very sad. Why? Because after marriage, you're no longer, I conquer already. Why do I want to bother to try so hard to continue to maintain the physical excitement? The man will say, I already. Why do I want to continue? I already conquer the wife. I already married. The wife already married to me. Why do I want to work so hard? So the man stopped the physical excitement activity to continue to stimulate the relationship. And so, yes, not all men like this. Yes, I agree. But most men are like this. Do you agree with me, Jian Wei? Most men, not all men, but most men, or many men. Right? You go out there, you ask, out of 10 guys out there, how many of the 10, out of the 10 guys you ask, how many of them, right? When you tell them, hey, when you pak tor, go and discuss serious issue with your girlfriend, can ah? You ask them and see. I can tell you 9 out of 10 say, oh, wow, where can? How can discuss this thing after an argument and no more pak tor? Okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's why very rare. They will talk about it very rarely. To me, it's sad. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's sad. To me, it should, because they never go to the psychological and the spiritual level during pak tor. And to me, then when they go in, they don't know how to do it. Right? And when they do it, argue, because now they realize psychologically and spiritually they are different. Now, to me, this is very much related to verse in the Bible. I cannot remember where, but I hope, Agnes, you remember where. I remember I told Agnes before. The Bible said, do not be unequally yoked. Now, the idea of unequally yoked is the idea of the mind and the soul level not aligned. And when the mind and the soul level not aligned, it means the direction of their life is not the same. And if the direction of their life is not the same, the two persons coming together after marriage will tear apart because they are moving in different directions. Which is why I always encourage during pak tor level to touch on this, to check and see that before you marry and you tie yourself together to your spouse, you better check and see whether the direction in life through your mind and the soul is similar. Make sense? Okay, thank you, Kershin. Agnes, yes, 2 Corinthians 6:14. Okay? Okay, then there's one more part I want to discuss. The criteria to decide your suitable partner. What criteria? Now, what are the important criteria that you base on to decide your best partner in marriage. Now, remember, we have gone through in chapter 1 or 2, I can't remember, there is no such thing as soulmate. Okay? There's no such thing. Now, if there's no such thing as soulmate, then you are basing your choice on certain criteria. Of course, some of the criteria is what? What are some of the criteria? The looks, physical, correct? Physical. Or whether personality, funny or not. Okay? Third, material, wealthy or not. Okay? So is the look like handsome or pretty? Second is probably funny or not, personality nice or not, right? Third is probably a material. Material will probably apply to girl more than guy. Why? Because the guy is the breadwinner, more often the breadwinner, and so you are looking at whether the person financially stable or not. Correct? What else? Yeah. What requirement? That's what I'm saying. What is your requirement for choosing a suitable spouse? Pattern? What do you mean by pattern? That means the personality lah. Or attitude. Okay, good. Okay. What else? Come on. Others. Stability, loyalty, not too ugly, you see? A Christian, common thing. Yeah.
How he loved his family.
Huh? Sorry?
The way, how much he committed into his family.
Okay.
Then the love for his family.
Okay. What if the person don't have a family often? Or what if not close to the family?
No, I won't.
That's why this is very interesting. But if you read this chapter, okay, the highest priority, not necessarily the highest, one of the high priority is friendship. Friendship, according to the author, friendship, the level of your friendship, the quality of your friendship should be higher than material or physical and a lot of other requirements. And if you understand the focus of this chapter, that marriage, the key is friendship. You see, that's why the mission of marriage is friendship. Is to be able to grow the friendship to the highest level. Then why not start before you marry? Why are we choosing the other requirement as more important if the main mission of marriage is friendship? If the main mission is friendship, don't you think it's an advantage that you choose when you choose your spouse, you look at friendship as one of the highest requirement? Which is what? The state of trust and support. Even if the other person, the spouse, materially and physically not so good. That's why this is something wrong with today's mindset. Today's culture have promoted a very wrong mindset through movie. Why? Because you see the movie, a lot of love relationship, pretty girl and handsome guy. Okay? And it's sad. And very often pretty girl and handsome guy defeats the purpose. Because why? Pretty girl and handsome guy, right, may end up having a lot of friends but no deep friends. Why? Because always distracted. If you are wealthy, a lot of people will chase after you. If you're handsome, a lot of people will chase after you. That is a distraction to friendship, not a promotion of friendship. And if marriage, the mission of marriage is friendship, wealth, and physical beauty or handsome, may be a stumbling block, may be a big hindrance to friendship. Because why? A friend of trust and support overlooks the physical weakness or limitation, even the materialistic limitation. Right? If you are truly a friend to someone else, will you overlook the other persons who is your friend, physical and material limitation? Will you overlook? Because if you cannot overlook, think about it, you are not a good friend. And then what is a good friend? If you think about it carefully, a person whose value system, whose trust level, whose alignment in value system, and who's willing to support and sacrifice for you, regardless of the limitation. Then you are already on your journey of fulfilling your mission of marriage. That's why I want to challenge this mindset, because if you hold on to the world's mindset to put material and physical or whatever it is above friendship, I can assure you your marriage will be a bit more difficult later on, because you haven't started, you haven't prioritized your friendship. Especially the friendship that can reach the mind and the soul. Okay, any question? Okay, okay. One more issue I want to talk about. Be very careful of. Okay, the Bible, the book talks about pseudo spouse. What is called pseudo spouse? Now, this is again your value system. Okay, now let me ask you, for those of you who are contemplating marriage, now is a mindset that you have to begin to develop. Is your children more important, or your friendship with your spouse more important?
Friendship with my spouse.
Second question. This first question is mainly for the woman. Is your children more important, or is your friendship with your spouse more important? That's for the woman. For the man, okay? Is the family's financial security more important, or your friendship with your wife more important? The question for the woman is this: is the children more important, or your friendship with your husband more important? For the husband, for the man, is your financial security more important, or your friendship with your wife more important? I prefer first question. Okay. 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 Yeah. To me, let me express what the book say, which I agree. In both questions, your friendship is more important. Why? Because the friendship, okay, for the wife, for the woman, it's the friendship with your husband that your children will look at and learn by observation a good relationship. The children's observation of a good friendship between the husband and wife is so important for a well-developed child. A lot of time, the child do not grow up well. It's not because the mother spend more time with her or with the child. It doesn't help. Because why? The observation that the child see in the conflict between the father and the mother does more harm that cannot be repaired, despite how much time the mother spend time with the child. Which is why I say the friendship is more important. So do not sacrifice your friendship with your spouse, with your husband at the expense, or do not focus on the relationship and the being consumed with spending time to ensure the child's well-being at the expense of friendship with your husband, which a lot of wife does. I can tell you, a lot of wife does that. Sad, A lot of wife does that. Same thing, a lot of husband, right? They concern so much about financial stability, especially when economy is unstable, at the expense of coming home early and spending time with their wife. And oftentimes, they bring the stress of work home to the wife and affect the friendship with the wife. And this, in return, jeopardizes the child growing up. This is what is called pseudo-spouse, which the book talks about, which is very good. Which is why this chapter is so crucial for us to readjust our priority of the requirement of your spouse or spouse-to-be. Put friendship as one of the highest priority and maintain it because it has significant impact. And not only that, think about it. When the friendship between the husband and wife is so good, it becomes a refuge, for the husband when stressed out at work, come back home. Now, it could be both ways now. It's not only for the husband now. For wife as well, because now a lot of working wife. The friendship between the husband and wife will become a great refuge for both the husband or the wife when they come back home after being stressed at work. Because why? With the high level of trust and support, they can let go, they can relax, they can be their true self, they can come back to constancy and transparency, right? Without having to pretend and without having to put up the front, which is stressful. Okay? So this is where very important for us to understand. Put friendship between husband and wife or between the two spouses as one of the highest priority over all, including children, including career, including hobbies, including, I don't know, including parents. Yes, before I forget. Including parents. Why? The Bible states very clearly you're supposed to leave them. Not leave them just physically, leave them emotionally as well as financially. This is very crucial. Okay? Your spouse must, your marriage between the husband and wife must eventually become the foundation, the firm foundation, based on your mental and spiritual alignment with God in the center. That's why it can become the strong, very strong. Okay, so make sure your friendship reach a spiritual level as well. So what does that mean also? That means also that you all must begin to discuss your spiritual direction in life so that you can help each other with it. Okay? Now, last part I want to talk about. I'm sorry, a bit over time. Just the last point now. And the last point is about what is called holiness versus happiness in marriage. Holiness versus happiness in marriage. Very often, we don't relate holiness to happiness. The pursuit of spiritual holiness. Very often, we don't. But what I'm trying to say to you is, if you understand holiness correctly, you will find happiness. Not the extrinsic happiness. I'm talking about the intrinsic happiness. The intrinsic happiness that you are at peace with yourself, you're at peace with God, and you are at peace with your spouse. And if that is so, then in the marriage, you should be helping each other towards holiness. What is holiness? By the way, what is holiness? Holiness doesn't mean you go up to the mountain and be holy, holy, and squatting down and pray all the time. That's not. In other words, you can be praying and yet not holy. You can be reading the Bible and yet not holy. You can be doing a lot of spiritual things and yet not holy. What is holy? Anybody can help me? What is holy? Anybody? Anybody want to try to explain to me what is holy? Him lo. No, it's not him. Actually, the problem is we all never spend time, and then we hear it so often, holy, holy, especially for us who go to church one. We hear it so often. Okay, not bad. Very clear direction in life, but not completely correct. But not bad, not bad. Now, to help us understand holy, let's look at sin. Okay? Sin is the opposite. Sin makes us not holy, correct? And Romans 3:23 describes sin. For all have sinned, fall short of the glory of God. Sin basically means we didn't meet God's standard. Not just deny ourselves. Yeah, it's got to do with denying ourselves. Deny ourselves from doing the things we are not supposed to do. Deny ourselves from doing the things that God has put there as not good for us to do. That's what's called sin. That means we fail to meet the standard in the way we live our life. When you say clean spiritually, then what is dirty spiritually? Clean and dirty is the idea of holy and sin. Same. Okay? Stay away from temptation. You can sort of say that. Now, basically, the idea is this. Sin is when we fall short. That means we behave in a way that is not aligned to what we are created to do. Not aligned to the principles and the rules that God has created to put us in. So we fall short. Once we do the things that we were not within the constraint of our creation, then we fall short. That's called sin. Holy is where we choose to stop ourselves. That's why it's deny ourselves. Stop ourselves from doing those things that is not appropriate in accordance to our creation. In other words, holy is when we begin to do what we are supposed to do. So stay away from temptation. Temptation is what are things that will tempt us to do which we know is wrong, that we are not supposed to do. That means the desire to do what we are not supposed to do is called temptation. So holy is when we are able to not do those things. When we maintain keeping ourselves. That's why it's called set apart. Holy means set apart. Now, how do we do that? Deny. Deny what? Deny the temptation. Deny the desire to do the things that we're not supposed to do. So when we do them, we sin. Because we did the things that we are not supposed to do, we have fallen short of the standard. The standard is we are supposed to do what we are supposed to do. What God requires for us to do, because in His creation. So when we are able to do what God has created for us to be supposed to do, then we find the inner peace, the inner alignment. And that's what happiness is. That's how the Bible describes as blessed. Then we are fulfilling and we are living out what we are intended to be, the fullness of our purpose, including in marriage. That's why when we live out marriage, because God is the one who instituted marriage. God is the one who brings in marriage in Genesis. And so when we live out marriage correctly, in holiness, in according to the way marriage is created and meant to be lived, then we will experience the kind of happiness that marriage can bring. The result of living out the proper marriage that God created and intended. Does that make sense? That's why in that case, we should put holiness of our spouse and ourselves very high in our priority of our marriage relationship or marriage friendship. And we are supposed, in this case, if we are to trust and support, we are supposed to try to, in sacrificial love, we are supposed to support our spouse to reach that holiness. And our spouse will help us live that holiness. And so both of us reaching that holiness, fulfilling the marriage as it was intended, we will experience the kind of happiness that the marriage intended by God is supposed to bring. Okay? Now you see now there is also a purpose of marriage, of the friendship in marriage. The purpose of the friendship in marriage is that we will be able to help each other reach holiness. Yes, our body is a temple of God in that sense. Yes, that's why we need to be holy enough for God to come into us in fellowship, in friendship with us. That is God's level of friendship with us, you know, that he come into us, into oneness with us. Isn't it? When God comes into us and making us the temple, the dwelling place of God, we become oneness with God. That is a friendship. The highest level of unity or friendship with God. That God can say that I can come into you and live in you. Just as you can go into somebody's house who you are such a close friend to that you can live there as part of the family. I hope I'm able to help you in today's chapter on the mission of marriage. Mission of marriage is friendship. The mission of the purpose of friendship or the goal of friendship is holiness.
Sir,
So
all this you already touch up everything already.
the whole chapter already, the whole book already.
Oh, I still did half only.
Done already because you already finished almost 3/4. That's why I thought no, I want to take advantage and chop, finish already.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't know you still got part 2. I thought you just
So next week no more my part.
no need. Next week summarize chapter 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Because
Thank you, thank you.
I see the momentum. That's why I want to push to the end. I hope y'all can see. Mission of marriage is friendship. That's why you need to focus on friendship as a priority, as a priority requirement for marriage, and then recognizing that the friendship as it goes, one of the focus of friendship is actually the spouse holiness. So that it helps us in our friendship with God. Okay. Question. I hope y'all can see. If got question, please ask. If got comment, please do. Already 11:30. Agnes tired already. Okay. Question next week we'll ask. Okay. Sorry, Agnes, today a bit late again. Because I rushed to finish. Yeah. I know. I'm looking at the clock all the time. Okay, then next week we will do the summary and the Q&A lah. Okay?
Okay, very good. My part finished.
Yeah. Okay, QQ, I pass to you for anything. Yeah.
Okay. So I think there's no more things to say unless you got any question. Okay, but also good question we'll ask for next week. So good night.
Good night.
Thank you and good night. Good night.
Bye. Good night. Okay.